So in chapter 5, Paul moves to a difficult topic about one of the members of the church having committed adultery, and this was causing disunity in the community. Remember, one of the key parts of Corinthians is how to have a unified community. So in the ancient world, well, actually in our day today, generally people see a difference between what we might say is the body and the spirit, that those are clearly distinct entities. The ancient world didn't see those as different, but actually on a trajectory, that there were different variations of the same element, if you will. And Paul's influenced by this worldview. They didn't have the modern scientific perspective that has evolved since the 16, 17, 1800s, particularly in the West. And so he's talking about when somebody does a sin with their body, it's a form of disease that ends up impacting the spirit. And also, if you have a diseased spirit, you might see that impacting your body. Now, sometimes you see in the Old Testament, New Testament, people have disease and people say, well, they must have committed sin. That's the worldview, that if your spirit is cankered, your body will represent that. Or if you, again, commit sin in the body, it impacts the spirit. Remember, we talked about the community is a body. You have a body. If you're part of this temple and you commit disease or sin with your body, and you come into the community, you're going to then disease the community if you don't repent. That was the way they saw it. Now, we see it a little bit differently. We want people to come to church. We all show up sinful on Sunday, and we want to partake of the sacrament. Paul was trying to deal with the fact that he didn't want people who were purposely and in a non-repentant way showing up to church and possibly infecting the unity of the whole. Now, if we had Paul here today, he wouldn't say, hate the sinner and kick him out of church. That's not really his message. It was appropriately help people who have sinned to repent. And if they refuse, there are steps for how they should not be part of the community for a time until they're willing to be whole and not bring disease into the community.